Good morning and welcome to Springfield, Illinois. Directly behind me is the state capitol building for Illinois, and it is a magnificent building that I'll show you in a minute. We've driven up here from St. Louis on our way to Chicago and thought we'd stop off in Springfield to show you guys some of the amazing free things that you can do in Springfield, Illinois. First off, let's check out this capitol building because it is monumental and absolutely gorgeous. So we're gonna go inside and check that out. First off, I'll show you around some of the grounds, some of the fountains, because the building itself is magnificent, but so are the grounds surrounding it. So let's check out the grounds first and then go inside. Check out how epic this is. Lincoln standing out the front with the capitol building behind it. Absolutely stunning. So we're now inside the state capitol building and it is absolutely magnificent, beautiful building. There's a statue just as you come in, and then you can look directly up the rotunda, which is the big dome that you can see from outside, and there are statues all around it and inscriptions and carvings, and it is absolutely incredible in here. Good news is there is a free tour at 11:30 AM and we've just arrived at the right time, so we're going on the free tour. We just finished up the tour of the state capitol and it is incredible. This building was finished in 1868, so it's about nearly 150 years old, and it is absolutely magnificent. It is the biggest domed state capitol in the United States, and it's even bigger than the US Capitol building in Washington. So it was incredible to see. Really recommend coming and checking out the Capitol building when you're in Springfield, Illinois. Next stop, I think we're going to the old state capitol, which is just around the corner from here, and then we'll see what else we can come up with in Springfield, Illinois. The state capitol building is directly ahead of you, and that is actually where Route 66 runs. So this road right here is the historic Route 66, interestingly enough. As promised, here we are at the site of the old Capitol. As you can see, the building is still really impressive, but nowhere near as cool as the new Capitol building. That is it in all its glory. Massive red dome on top, and it's a super cool building. But the new one is, and I say the new one's still 150 years old. This one was only used for 40 years until they outgrew it. Such was the expansion of the US at that period. They outgrew this Capitol building and had to move to the new one. So the new one is super impressive and it's still 150 years old. This one is 1810, 20, around that period. So almost 200 years old now. So here we are inside the old Capitol building. Obviously this is no longer in operation, but it is preserved as it would have been in the 19th century, which is pretty cool. So a wander around. We're just walking into the Supreme Court where Abraham Lincoln worked as a lawyer, and he tried well over 50 cases in this exact courtroom. If you remember from the video from Council Bluffs in Iowa, there was loads of Lincoln's presidential furniture from his funeral car. Well, here's the other half of it, kept in the old Capitol building in Springfield, Illinois. Our next stop is Abraham Lincoln's house. So he lived in Illinois for a period of his life, specifically in Springfield, and I think he served as a senator on the Illinois government, and his house is here. So we're going to go and check out his house. Right there on the corner behind me, Abe Lincoln's house. Check that out. He lived there most of his adult life, raised his family there and 3 children, and that is Abraham Lincoln's house. Now fortunately, we've timed this pretty well, and there's a free tour taking us all around the area where he lived and showing us more about Abe Lincoln's house and that kind of thing. So we're going on this free tour. Cool. We just finished up the free tour around Lincoln's house, which you can see directly behind me, and it was super interesting. Really interesting to see the house Lincoln actually lived in, and he lived there for quite a long time. And A lot of the stuff that's in there is still original. The carpet and wallpaper that you saw, apart from in his bedroom, which was upstairs, isn't original, but the bedroom wallpaper is totally original, and a lot of the furniture and things like that are the original furniture that Abraham Lincoln used whilst he lived here, which is amazing to see. Super cool. We're now going to go on to his cemetery, so we're going to go and check out where he's buried with his wife and 3 of his children. One of his sons isn't actually buried there, but let's go and check that out. We visited Lincoln's house, which is where he spent 17 years of his life in Springfield, Illinois. This is where he's buried. So we're in the Oak Ridge Cemetery, which is about a 5-minute drive away from where he lived, and his family tomb's here. So this is part of the memorial to him. Let's go and check out the memorial and some of the tomb. This is Lincoln's tomb. Lincoln standing in front of the spire. You've got Civil War images either side of him. And there's the entrance to his tomb. Let's go in and check it out. As you walk through the tomb, there's various different parts of Lincoln's history. So here he is as a ranger. Here he is as a soldier. And as you walk through the tomb, which is awesome, there at the end of the tomb is Lincoln as president. So 10 feet below this marble tomb is where Lincoln's remains are. Incredible. There it is, that's Lincoln's tomb. Only a brief snippet that I showed you, but what an amazing experience. I've been to where Lincoln is buried, and he's buried directly behind me and down about 10 feet. That's going to be it from Springfield, Illinois. Everything we've done here has been completely free. We have not spent a single dime, and now we're going to jump in the car and drive up to Chicago. I can highly recommend coming to Springfield if you want to learn more about Abraham Lincoln, his family, his history. Definitely go and visit his house, definitely go and visit his tomb. Super cool things to be able to say you've done. Now let's jump in the car, get up to Chicago, start exploring that amazing city. Along Route 66 there's some weird and wonderful stuff. One of them is a statue of Paul Bunyan holding a hot dog. Paul Bunyan is one of the original pioneers, and here he is in a 40-foot statue holding a hot dog. Super unique. We are in a town called Atlanta, Illinois, on our way from Springfield to Chicago, and this popped up on the GPS, so we thought we'd come and have a look. There it is. After an awesome day in Springfield, Illinois, we've arrived in Chicago. I'm standing in our Airbnb, just in the room that we are staying in the next 3 days. We managed to get an Airbnb for a reasonable price, but Chicago is not the cheapest place to stay. I hope you guys have enjoyed our video of Springfield, Illinois. Remember to give the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and until tomorrow when we go exploring more of Chicago. Until then guys, peace out.